This message is sponsored by World Bank through Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, OSTEP. It's OSTEP GWSD program on radio on OGBC 90.5 FM. I welcome you to another beautiful edition. Well, OSTEP GWSD program is a program made possible by the World Bank. It is a World Bank project on sexual and gender-based violence, which also focuses on gender equality. A World Bank project in collaboration with OSTEP, Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, and it is a half-hour program on radio where we explore challenges to empowering the women folk in our society. And like we do every week, we bring in guests as our resource to talk about very important topics, very important issues. This morning we are talking about fostering gender inclusive sustainable investment strategies for a changing global economy. That's our focus this morning. And of course, like always, we have guests. My guest this morning, Mr. Sharif Mohammed, the project manager of Business Enable Environment, BEE, Oxted. You're welcome on this morning, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, Sharif Mohammed.
I also have here Reverend Canon Jide Odubemi, the project coordinator, Family Health Initiative. You are most welcome on the program this morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Ogun State.
Yes. Later in the course of the program, we can accommodate some calls from our listener 0803 437 9453 or 0815 032 0226. That's the numbers to call on the program this morning 0803 437 9453 or 0815 032 0226. Those are the numbers to call if you want to contribute or you want to ask our resource persons questions on the program this morning. Fostering gender inclusive sustainable investment strategies for a changing global economy. Now, I'll start with Mr. Mohammed. When we talk about this fostering gender inclusive sustainable investment strategies for a changing global economy, what do we really mean?
Thank you. What we mean by that is providing an equal to participate in business. Business is a gender sensitive matter.
Okay.
I'll give for example, a cook can be a man or a woman. A trailer driver can be a man or a woman. The basis of your participation in business has nothing to do with your gender.
Okay.
So by preparing this initiative is about how do we give a level playing field for men and women to participate in business. Thank you.
Okay. So how does okay, I'll come to you now, Mr. Reverend Canon Jide Odubemi, the project coordinator, Family Health Initiative. How does the Family Health Initiative how do you incorporate gender inclusive investment strategies into your healthcare programs? And I need you to talk about the impact this has had on the health outcomes.
Thank you very much. Let me just corroborate what my colleague have just said. Giving equal opportunity, common and the same level playground. We in a way promote gender equality, and then incorporating gender-based program into our health activities and programming in the state. So what we do is we provide quality health care information, health care counseling to women and girls. We are not limited to women and girls because when we talk about gender, it's both male and female that we're talking about. So we provide quality health information, counseling, we sensitize, and we also mobilize with our mindset on gender equality. So we do that, and the impact this has given us in the state is that giving a kind of informed informations, where people were able to take decisions on their health, and by visiting the health facilities, seek informations about some of these health challenges, and then the interventions that promote healthcare in the state.
Okay.
And I want to say that a reasonable percentage we can boast of that, because, for instance, let me give a case of a family planning methods. Family planning methods, and taking a method or adopting a method by a woman in Nigeria, being a male-dominated country, so to say. Sometimes the woman will want to take the permission from from her husband before a method. And mind you, it is a woman that will carry the pregnancy. She should be able to know the state of her health, the way she feels when during the last pregnancy, and the current one that the husband wants. She should be able to decide. And so, as a result of our intervention, so we are able to reach to men, and we are having improvements.
For them to encourage
their wives, or for the wife to even take the bold steps to go for that services at when due and when required.
Okay. Now, Mr. Sharif Mohammed, talking about these specific initiatives, what specific initiatives has the business enablement environment? Did I get that?
Yes.
BEE program.
Business enabling environment.
Enabling environment. Okay. What are those initiatives that you have put together? Those programs you have implemented to promote gender inclusive, sustainable strategies, and the impact these initiatives have.
Okay. The business enabling environment is a program of Oxford, which is also sponsored by the World Bank. It breaks the business enabling environment into three sectors.
Okay.
The first one is improving the business enabling environment. How do we improve business enabling environment? How do people get registration of construction permits? How do they get building permits? How do they get C of O's? If you register a land title, and how do you have, as a company, want to come to Ogun State? So these three arms are the like 1, 2, and 3 of the business enabling environment. It has spread it out. Now, back to the original question, which is the family. Men and women are equal. And the earlier we get to understand that, the better. For as long as the opportunity arises, we will give men and women equal opportunities in the business sector. So it's about decentralizing the idea of the gender inclusiveness, fostering gender inclusiveness in the economy. So we are with DLI 1, which is the business environment, and the DLI 2, which go down to girls and 18-year-olds. Are they for university? Are they having the same opportunity? They having the same opportunity for time for the time comes. So with that, you have equal men and women happy to participate. Yes. Then the DLI 3, that's the facility investment promotion. Yes, that is male dominated for now. Yeah, it's male dominated. But also, if you go back to the basis of the equal opportunities for men and women, with 30 years, 40 years, you have a balance. Now, the traits that are male dominated and female dominated, you have hairdressing. Male they could make good hairdressers. Male could be hairdressers, and females could be truck drivers. So we are just trying to, without forcing it, encourage and empower our people to know that a girl is equal to a boy and a boy is equal to a girl.
By encouraging the women folk.
Yes.
Okay. Oakstep GWSD program on radio, a program made possible by the World Bank, and it is a World Bank project on sexual and gender-based violence, which also focuses on gender equality. I want to, okay, this question is for Mr. Reverend Canon Jide Ujubeni. For any organization, you have to go through some challenges. So, what are those challenges you have encountered or you are facing in implementing these gender inclusive, sustainable investment strategies in the healthcare sector that you are into? What are those challenges?
Yes, there are challenges, but I want to talk about the limited funding.
Okay.
Funding is a challenge, and equally the gender disparities in accessing healthcare services is also a challenge. But we have a, a style, a policy in place to mitigate this, and we do this by going to partnership with organizations that are gender-based focused.
How do you go about doing that?
So, for instance, when we go into partnership with them, we have a work plan,
Okay.
a plan of activities, and we have our colleagues working with us. So they will come fund the activities. So that's how we go into partnership. And sometimes they have the funding, who will be the one to carry out the activities. So it's a partnership program that we'll be doing, and we'll be having so much support through this. And like the World Bank program that we are having now, that the program we are having now is also one partnership that we enjoy to carry out our activities and to educate people on gender-based activities.
Okay. The studio lines 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226. Now, Mr. Muhammad, what role do government policies and regulations, what roles do they play in fostering this gender inclusive, sustainable investment environment? What role do they play?
Thank you. The government of Ogun State, and by extension the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has brought to fore the gender program. This program gives equal opportunities to male and female to attain any office in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, you would agree with me that it's still male dominated. So we have a roadmap to achieving gender equality.
Okay.
Maybe 30 years, maybe 40 years, when the female child is trained equally with the male child. So these are things that, for example, I have two daughters, and I'm giving them all the training that they deserve.
Okay.
So I mean, it's also a way. I have two daughters and a son. So it's also a way of getting us to meet the challenge the way it has come. It's a 30-year, 40-year program. So, but I think with continuous investment in these programs, we will be able to come up with something good.
Okay.
The CFOs are a basic part of what we do. So you have people in getting land, coming to government for titles for the CFO, but are you also checking that we have inheritance problem? Inheritance problem. So how many women can inherit the land? Before you can come and ask for the
CFO. Woman doesn't have any right to inheritance.
Yes. So, but this is also changing.
Okay.
This is also changing. So yeah, that's what we do. So government policy will not enforce, but government policy will support.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, Reverend Canon Jide, how can gender inclusive sustainable investment strategies in healthcare address the specific needs of the vulnerable population?
We do this by making provision for the targeted audience. to address this gender-based issue. Like I said earlier, we provide quality health messages and health education to women and girls and to our targeted population. We do this, and we also focus on campaigning against violence, domestic violence. So we are part of the dissemination of the Violence Against Person Provision Act, that law of the state. That's how we did that with the Ministry of Women Affairs.
Okay.
And so the law was disseminated across the 20 AGS in the state. We are part of this, where we educate people, and we equally promote woman empowerment. In fact, that is very key. Like my colleague has just said here, is key, because when you go to an hospital, you want to meet a doctor.
Okay.
And at the entrance, you don't know who the doctor is, whether he's a male or a female. But at the entrance, you want to enter a consulting room. So inside the consulting room, it could be a male or a female. So we do that by promoting and campaigning seriously for woman empowerment. Both men and women are born via the same avenue. They were created by God. The Bible confirms that male and female.
Sorry to cut you there. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning, your name and where you're calling from?
This is Dr. Adekunle.
Okay.
I'm speaking from the Ijo area.
Okay. Your question?
Yes, I have been listening attentively with you and your program. But there are two questions I want to ask.
Okay.
The rural dwellers, are they really have knowledge about this program we are talking about? Because they're supposed to be the most beneficiary of the program. Have there been any move to do this? Recently, when we talk in terms of Yewa area that has that access to large rural area dwellers. And secondly, what benefit is it for women, especially uneducated fellows, uneducated women in the rural area? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Resource persons would answer your questions accordingly. Now, I'll put that question to you, Mr. Sharif Mohammed. You know, he's asking about the rural dwellers carried along in the scheme of things in this program we're talking about, especially those rural dwellers from Yewa area. How have you been doing this?
Thank you very much. Dr. Adewale, thank you for your call.
Adekunle.
Dr. Adekunle, thank you for your question. The rural dwellers, I will repeat my answer from first principles. The family produces these children. They could be rural, they could be urban, they could be in anywhere. A family, a father and a mother produces them. So we that's the strategy we are adopting. So we are going to encourage them. We are going to build more avenues for them to see the opportunities in today's world. You know, I agree with you. The rural people are seriously challenged. A female in a rural area is not going to school. The boy can go to school, the girl doesn't go to school. So we would continue encouraging it. Now, one of the programs we're having is for females in entrepreneurship, scholarship, technical and vocational colleges, which are 90% male dominated. We want some women to come in. So we have programs, little interventions like this, so that you don't enforce too much. If you carry out forced intervention, the men can run away. And you need the men to support the women. You need the women to support the men. Thank you. Second question.
I want us to take that
Anybody?
Yes, it's GWSD Oak Step Half Hour program on OGBC 90.5 FM. Now, Mr. Sharif Mohammed, I need you to react to the second question from Dr. Adekunle on what benefits this initiative is for the uneducated women.
The uneducated men and women, I want to lump them together.
Okay.
By the time we separate men from women, we are not giving gender the due attention it deserves. So, uneducated men and women. Now, uneducated men have more opportunities than uneducated women. So that's where the difference comes in. So uneducated women will keep encouraging people to go to school. If you have first school living certificate, why? It's a minimum education. Now you can go into craftsmanship, you can go into the higher education degree, you can go into postgraduate degree, but the opportunity should be there. So these are the pain points of the program. Yeah, they're the pain points because you are not yet there. So I'm thinking of if you have 30 years, 40 years, you keep encouraging the people for them to know bá ṣe bẹ́rù náà ṣe bọ́mọ àtọkùnrin àtobìnrin ọmọ náà ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Yes.
Now, Reverend Canon Ojubemi, you talked about partnership the other time. Your organization going to partnership, with people out there in this issue we're talking about. What role do partnerships between healthcare organizations, the investors, the government, what roles do they play in fostering this gender inclusive, sustainable investment strategies? And you can even tell us some of the success stories you have.
Okay, thank you very much. Like you said, partnership is very, very crucial. It's very, very crucial for scaling impact and leveraging resources. Is very, very key. So we have partnership with the Global Fund for Women and the World Health Organization, Pathfinder International, the Challenge Initiatives, and also government agencies to carry out some of our activities to implement our gender-based inclusive program. So it's very key. And then, for instance, during the development of the adolescent and youth strategic health in Ogun State, so our advocacy, our intervention brought Pathfinder International to Ogun State. That document was developed, and the document is being implemented in the state. And then also during the time when we discovered that some health personnel were not able to provide some services, so we advocated for the domestication of tax shifting and tax sharing policy in Ogun State, and then it was taken by the state, and the document was disseminated, and Ogun State adopted the document for use in Ogun State. And today, we have some of these health services that are not being provided by the lower health care personnel that they are doing now. For instance, like in family planning, all these injectable, the implant, some of these are strictly, services that are strictly provided by medical doctors and nurses. But now, so as a result of this partnership, the health indices of Ogun State is improving, and we are happy with that. And also, we discovered that there is a lot of improvement in the health budget, and which also take cognizance of the health of women and children as well. So in Ogun State, so that is what partnership has brought to us and even to the state at large.
This helped. Yes. Now, Mr. Mohammed, I need you to tell us the success stories, especially when we look at, there are some businesses that are owned by females, the women-owned businesses and entrepreneurs. What are the success stories you can talk about, and the strategies, that address the specific challenges faced by women-owned businesses. What are those specific challenges faced by these women-owned businesses?
The Business Environment Council of Ogun State has been tasked with the responsibility of registering businesses when it comes to Ogun State.
Okay.
Out of these businesses, we have equal number
Hmm.
of male and female. So that means gone are the days where a woman does not own a business. Now there are more SME business owned by women in their category. So with time, we expect to have that improved of the more in the higher category.
Okay.
So you have that population starting now. Then of C of O's, we have 70% male, 30% female, and by 18% other corporate.
Okay.
So if you look at that, so the women can get titles for their land
With relative ease.
with relative not with relative ease, not with relative ease.
Okay.
With time it will get there.
Okay.
We admit there are still long way to go.
Okay.
Yes, but we are working in that direction. We are working towards it. We are solving the problems, and it goes back to the family.
Thank you so much. It's been Oak Step GW Bank project on sexual and gender-based violence, which also focuses on gender equality. It is a World Bank project in collaboration with Oak Step, Ogun State Economic Transformation Project. Well, I hope you've learned one or two things from the program this morning. I appreciate my guest, my distinguished guest this morning, Mr. Sharif Mohammed, Project Manager of Business Enabling Environment, BEE, Oak Step, and Reverend Canon Jide Odugbemi, Project Coordinator, Family Health Initiative. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
your
you for
time,
having
sparing
me.
your time with us this morning. I also appreciate the ICT lady on duty for Lake Showeton, the sound manager, Dotun Dewu. My name is Kemi Sofolawe. Let's do this again next Friday by 11 a.m. Have a fantastic weekend.